What's up? What's up? It's your boy Philly D coming in with the hot takes once again. You heard?
All right, let's go ahead and get started. But before we do, I'm going to be very brief because I got stuff to do.
You got a
um,
job.
yeah, I got a job. But anyway, I'll go ahead and drop some of my work that I've been doing. Uh, that car. Um, I am doing a weekly newsletter slash recap uh, on one of my featured postings that will be coming out every week about the OKC Thunder. One will be coming out tomorrow. I am also going to be doing a free agency targeting for the Vegas Sports Daily for the Las Vegas Aces, as well as another story on Terrence Ferguson and what he means to the OKC Thunder, as well as another piece on uh, Kenneth Fareed and how his energy is going to affect the Houston Rockets going forward. But back to your regular scheduled programming. Let's go ahead and get into it. What's first on the list? Phil.
Dang, man. First of all, I almost went to sleep because you was over here just saying a bunch of words that I really don't care about. But it's shout out to all the people out there that do care about your work. Secondly, let's just start talking about these Lakers real quick. Yeah, shake your head. Let's start talking about these Lakers real quick. And the narrative that ESPN, Fox Sports 1, and the mainstream media, it's like Alex Jones, is putting out there towards, the popular Los Angeles Lakers. When I say popular, I mean like popular in LA. Because I don't even know if LeBron fans really like the Lakers right now. But, you know, if you listen to First Take and you listen to Undisputed, all you hear is them say, oh my gosh, the Lakers, they might blow it up. Luke Wall needs to get fired. This, that, whatever. They're 5-10, 5-11, depending on when you heard this podcast. They keep saying these things. And every time they say these things, they're like, it's LeBron James with LeBron James not playing, Just like in Cleveland, when LeBron James didn't play, the team imploded. The team's imploding. When LeBron James does not play, the team cannot win. But that is not the case. That is not the case whatsoever. They always say without LeBron James. But guess what? What, Phillip? Some of the games, they didn't have Rondo too. Not some of the games, most of the games, actually. Some of the games, they didn't have Kuzma. Some of the games, they didn't have JaVale McGee, their starting center. Some of the games, they have not had Lonzo Ball, who was legitimately coming into his own for the season when he turned his ankle. The narrative... Okay, so for the Lakers to be on TV as much as they are, and for the California and Los Angeles fan base to be as big as it is, just because you're in Dallas and you don't care, doesn't mean anybody else does not care. I'm just saying, the narrative that they're putting out there on ESPN is completely wrong, and it's not even it's such a 365 news cycle spin they put on it, because they don't have anything else to talk about. That it's like, oh, it's all LeBron James. It's not all LeBron James. What is that? 4 or 5 of their top 5 players have been out some point during this run when LeBron James has been injured with the groin. But they only say LeBron James. They don't say anybody else. That Lonzo, Paul George backup, starting dynamic can be easily one of the best starting backup point guard dynamics in the NBA. But throughout this whole entire 10-game streak, or 10-game run, I would say, one of them has been injured the entire time. You know what I mean? What'd it do? There are a couple teams in the West that you cannot say that you can definitively say, I would say, that they could not beat. Now, after you got past that like adjustment period of like LeBron James not being on the court for like for the first like 3-4 games, the Lakers, if you watch them, were playing worlds better because they adjusted to playing how they should be playing. You know what I mean? That's why that's why they were going to the overtime games, and that's why they're like actually competing against good teams because they were kind of coming into their own, but then their starting point guard goes out with an ankle injury for 4 to 6 weeks. So, in the starting point guard that was putting up good numbers, 18, 8. The game he injured himself in was like in the third quarter, or was in the second quarter, and he had 8 points, 11 assists already. If you were looking, Lonzo was already starting to do his thing, and then Lonzo and Kuzma automatically plays better when he plays with Lonzo. Automatically. So, before I was so rudely interrupted by the man who was afraid of his barber, clearly, the Los Angeles Lakers, they have the ability, or they had the ability without LeBron James to at least be able to make some noise against some good teams. But that is not the narrative that is being put out there to the world by ESPN, Fox Sports 1, so on and so forth. It is not a good thing. I don't know. It's another reason why I just hate the 24-hour news cycle of sports, because they just come up with nonsense. But, LeBron James, because, this Lakers team is not the same Lakers team, or it's not the same kind of team that LeBron had when he was with the Cavaliers. When you look at the Cavaliers and Kyrie was the only one playing, Kyrie was the only legitimately good player they had. The only one. This Lakers team, Brandon Ingram would be good, or much better, I would say. I would say he's pretty all right now, but he would be much better on a team without LeBron James. And that is not debatable. Anybody who knows basketball knows that would be the case. Kyle Kuzma, yes, his game is one-dimensional. He's a scorer. Yes, he should be coming off the bench as a sixth man because his game's that one-dimensional. But he is good at what he does. Lonzo Ball, he is good at what he does. Finding the open man, finding teammates, pushing the ball up the court. He is good at what he does. JaVale McGee, okay. That's where I'll stop, but it is what it is, you know what I mean? Rondo, good at backup point guard. Michael Beasley's been playing like a good role player right now. And it's fun to watch because, if anybody was a fan of Michael Beasley around 2008, his one-and-done year at K-State, and, his first year as a Miami Heat, you know what Michael Beasley was, at least at one point, capable of doing. But, he's not capable of putting up numbers that he was projected to put up now. But it's still a fun thing to watch, a solid lefty go to work when he gets to the rim. And, I know James Harden's that solid lefty, but, Michael Beasley and James Harden play a completely different game. But they both lefties, though. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. But, yes, this Laker team is not like the Cavaliers team that LeBron was surrounded by. This Lakers team has actual, I should say, good individual players. The Lakers, oh my goodness, the Cavaliers, I should say, had one, and that is it. And that is why the record was they won 0 games or whatever it was without LeBron James. It's just something different out there. I was just watching the Minnesota Timberwolves. The Minnesota Timberwolves, they are in the worst possible spot in the NBA. And when I say the worst possible spot, they're in that limbo spot, that purgatory spot of good and bad. They're just right in the middle, and that is a spot you definitely don't want to be in, and that's a spot you should not be in. When you have Andrew Wiggins, when you have Karl Anthony Towns, and, well, that's actually it. When you have 2 good players like that, that is not the spot you should be in. This past offseason, they paid Karl Anthony Towns a boatload of money. He got the max contract. Andrew Wiggins got overpaid. Definitely got overpaid. He is good. Andrew Wiggins is good, but he's so nonchalant. You were watching the game the other day when they were playing the Lakers. Yes, they put numbers up on the Lakers. Andrew Wiggins was out there doing his thing. But Chris Webber, when he was commentating, he even said it. Why is this man so nonchalant? If he wasn't so nonchalant, if he didn't play as if he was playing so carefree, he'd be out there doing big things, aggressive. He almost put JaVale McGee in a body bag. Where? In a body bag. He could do that all the time. If you've been watching Andrew Wiggins since high school, who, by the way, has one of the most underrated hoop mixtapes of all time. If you've been watching him since then, you know, a lot of times, Andrew Wiggins, when he gets to the rim, he might miss our first one, but his second tier jump, his recover bounce, is one of the most amazing recovery bounces I've ever seen in my life. And just so you know, when I say recovery bounce, I'm talking about that initial jump. He gets to the rim, hits him with that spin move he's always doing. He jumps off the spin move. He lays it up. He misses it. He comes back down. Boom! That second jump, he's low-key just as high as he was that first jump. It's crazy. That's the kind of bounce he has. And that's athleticism. That's the kind of athleticism that he has, but he does not use it ever. Or I won't say ever. He just needs to use it more. If I'm noticing this, and Chris Webber's noticing this, and the NBA TV crew was noticing this, and the TNT crew was noticing this, clearly something has to change. Andrew Wiggins, your potential is through the roof, but sometimes you're too lax. You have a good skill set, a raw skill set sometimes, but still a good skill set. Use it. Harness it. Harness it like Goku does the Kamehameha. Harness that power, and you could be so good, man. It's wild. I've been watching you since you came to Kansas, or since you were like a high recruit to come to Kansas. That's when I got put on. And the same problems I saw with you then are the same problems I'm seeing with you now. Chris Webber said he doesn't think that you can coach attitude. He doesn't think you can coach aggressiveness on the court. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that. I think life experiences, things that happen to you on the court growing up, people dogging you and, a certain mentality you have, I do think you can't coach that. But I think there are certain coaches out there that can bring it out of you. Certain people out there that can bring it out of you. I don't know if Andrew Wiggins has that kind of, crowd around him. I don't know if that's the kind of entourage he surrounds himself with. The kind of people that can bring it out of you. Lonzo Ball, his rookie year for sure, that was one of the knocks against him. Oh, sometimes Lucky's plays so nonchalant. Sometimes he plays, sometimes it looks like he plays, so laxed. But at one point, LeVar was like, he needs a coach to get into his face and pull it out of him sometimes. He needs a coach like that. LeVar said in high school, his coach wasn't like that at Chino Hills, but LeVar was on the sideline every game, being that guy to pull it out of him. So it can be coaching you, it can be pulled out of you, but it depends on the kind of individual that can do that. I don't know if Andrew Wiggins has that around him. I know he had a brother his brother played hard at Wichita State. His brother played really hard. But I don't know if his brother's the one to be able to do that. I don't know if Andrew Wiggins is, I know his mindset. I know him personally. But I know it's troublesome that issues that were obvious in your game 6 years ago or whatever it was, or not even 6 years ago, that was like 4 years ago, are the same issues right now. I'm not quite sure if that's a fantastic thing. But right now on the podcast, we have Levi. He just showed up. Levi, what's the dealio? I was going good, man. I'm just over here talking on the podcast. Are you recording? Are you recording? All right. What's the hell? All right, that's what I'm talking about. All right, Levi. I was just talking about right now by myself. I was just talking about, Andrew Wiggins. And how Andrew Wiggins has that, nonchalant, relaxed mentality in the court. And how, the same problems he had at Kansas, which was that, and not being aggressive at all times, it's the same thing you see when he's on the court right now. And if that's been the same problem for this long, I'm not sure if that can be changed. What do you think?
Yeah, I've been seeing the same thing ever since he was playing in Kansas, and he doesn't have that dog in him. Why do you think LeBron James didn't want him? Because he's that was the speculation on Andrew Wiggins. Does he have that dog on him? Is he gonna come to the NBA and do what he's supposed to do? Is he gonna live up to his expectations? No, that did not happen.
Yeah. It's a good point.
Both of them.
But I think Karl Anthony Towns has a lot more of it than Andrew Wiggins does, though. I think Karl Anthony Towns just didn't vibe well with Jimmy Butler. I think that's what it is. And if you looked at Cat during when he was at Kentucky, look at Cat before. If you look at the numbers that Cat put up, at least before Jimmy Butler came, and then the numbers he's putting up right now, you can say that Cat has that dog in him at least, right? I'm gonna go out there and just get at least get some numbers up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Either when it comes to rebounds or when it comes to points. But Andrew Wiggins, no matter who's around him, clearly he don't got that dog in him. Apparently, you know what I mean?
He has skill though. I give him that.
You made a good point. Yeah, you made a good point of LeBron James said, "Get him out of here," and that might be one of the reasons. You know what I mean?
He's seen that. He's seen that come. He was like, "Yeah, I don't want this guy playing next to me, and then we're gonna spend our lottery pick on this guy. Come on, no way."
But maybe LeBron James could have been the guy to get it out of him, though.
Maybe you're right. Maybe I don't know. I don't know how that would work.
I don't know.
I mean, he got what he wanted. He got Kevin Love in the deal. In his prime.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But he did.
Yeah.
And
he got a chip out of it.
And he did transfer Kevin Love. He changed his game a bit than when he wasn't.
They gonna say the GMs did it, but it was really LeBron James. LeBron James is the one pulling the strings. You know what I mean?
It, bro. I know he's the coach. He's the GM. He's the president of basketball. I mean, this guy does.
He's not a very good GM though.
Wow.
Nah, man. He ain't a very good GM. He won a GM when Pat Riley was there, and he won 2 rings. All of a sudden, he went to Cleveland. He won 1 ring as a GM, but, he had one of the best ball handlers to ever play in the NBA, so he got dumb lucky right there. And then, when he left, or when he played, the team was trash. You know what I mean?
Trash.
So, Cleveland is boo-boo right now. Boo-boo. And, that's pretty much because whoever you want to say, probably LeBron James or the GM or whatever, they pretty much centered their whole team to fit LeBron James' style. So when he left, they had nothing going for him. The Cleveland Cavaliers, no one wants to go to Cleveland either. So the Cleveland Cavaliers won't be good for a long time unless they get some nasty lottery picks again. You know what I mean?
Zion Williams coming up can change that?
I hope he don't go to Cleveland. I really hope he don't go to Cleveland.
I pray to God he doesn't go there.
I hope he go to the Wolves.
It has to be a Cleveland kid. It has to be a kid that's from Cleveland, that's been there all their life, like a LeBron James, to even get that. So they got lucky to get a LeBron James because if he...
Yeah, they got lucky. Cleveland trash, yo.
Trash.
No one's ever Joakim Noah said, Cleveland. No one's ever I want to go on vacation and go to Cleveland. Cleveland sucks,
Have you been
yo.
to Cleveland?
No, because I ain't trying to go to Cleveland. Because I hear things.
You hear.
Yeah, I hear things. Cleveland's boo boo, So earlier I was talking about people on some I was talking about like people on TNT and people on ESPN and different commentators and all that kind of stuff. I just want to put out there, Shaquille O'Neal is like the TNT version of Paul Pierce. I can't stand Shaquille O'Neal's takes on basketball, yo. His takes are so garbage. This man, his takes make him seem like he really don't know basketball. Like, his takes make him seem like the only reason he was good at basketball is because he was the size he was. You know what I mean? Like, he got no IQ, it makes it seem like. Now I gotta go back and look at old hardwood classics to see what kind of IQ this man had. You know what I mean? Because right now, commentating, I'm like, oh man, this guy really dumb. Like, this guy really don't know basketball. And I'm like, that's crazy. Like, he's one of those kind of guys that was so talented, he just didn't need to know good basketball. He just survived the entire time purely based on his talent and his size. You know what I mean?
I think Shaq's great, but I don't know about an analyst. I mean, can you give me an example? What he said to that threw you off?
Okay.
Oh, guy. I mean, don't you play basketball? That type of thing.
I mean, he just loves Kyle Kuzma. He loves Kyle Kuzma so much because he scores. But if you look at Kyle Kuzma, if Kyle Kuzma's not scoring, he's not getting no rebounds. He's not getting no assists. He can't play defense. He's a one-dimensional player, and that's all he has for himself. You know what I mean? All he does is score. But he hates Lonzo, who fills his stat sheet up. I don't understand. How do you... I don't know anybody who loves Kuzma and hates Lonzo. That the difference between the two is that as much as Shaquille O'Neal. And I think it's just he's score. Oh, they need to score. All kind of stuff. Also, when you think about Shaquille O'Neal with TNT, you never know about him because of his takes.
Yeah.
You know about him because he eating hot
He's
chips.
Talking about barbecue chicken.
You know what I mean?
He's talking about something he had in a different country or something about food.
Shaq in the fool or something like that. Yeah. You know what I mean? You never know him because of his analytical takes on things. You know him because of his gimmicks. All you know him for is that kind of stuff. It's for being a big goofy guy, falling in trash cans and, all that nonsense. You'll never know him for the words that actually come out of his mouth.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I probably have to do my research on that, watch some more Shaq. But I haven't watched Shaq on TNT in a minute, so I can't judge him. I can't judge him on that perspective. But you said something about Paul Pierce.
I respect.
You said something about Paul. Come on, man. Come on. Paul Pierce actually says some good stuff. Yes, he does.
No, he don't, man. Paul Pierce got the worst takes on ESPN. He got the worst takes ever on ESPN, yo.
You talking about ESPN or The Jump?
He was a guy. ESPN, The Jump, it don't even matter on ESPN. Oh, he was the guy who said he, at one point, coming out of college, would have taken Andre Drummond over Anthony Davis.
What?
That's all I need to say. Yes, he legitimately said that. And Chauncey Billups looked at him like he was stupid. Did he
classify why? I mean, did he say why?
Yeah, he said why. He definitely said why. You go on the internet, on YouTube, and look it up. I don't really remember why he said why right now. But ridiculous. All I know is he said Andre Drummond over Anthony Davis. If you watch Anthony Davis in college, there's no way you would take any... This man was on that Olympic team for a reason. There is no way you would take anybody over this guy. No way.
Did you see the championship game when he got almost 10 blocks? Did he even see that, bro?
Dude barely scored, and he was filling that stat sheet up. Filling it up. Crazy. You know what I mean? Yeah, it was crazy. And and that's all I needed to hear from Paul Pierce for me to think Paul Pierce was a real dummy. Mm-hmm. And he clearly said some other things outside of that for me to, continue on this thought process. But I'm just this guy ridiculous, man. So yeah, Paul Pierce. Shout out to Tracy McGrady though for having the real takes, having the great takes. Shout out to Richard Jefferson. Yes. Richard Jefferson got a lot of good takes also. So ESPN got a lot of players, not a lot, but they got a good amount of players that have really good insight and really good takes. Not as much as NBA TV and TNT, But they got a couple. They got a couple diamonds in the rough. You know what I mean? But Paul Pierce definitely isn't one of them. Jalen Rose, by the way, shout out to Jalen Rose, the OG player analyst for ESPN, because he always had the good ones.
Kevin Garnett,
Jalen Rose
too, huh?
No, Kevin Garnett's on Area 21
on
TNT.
Yeah, he is on TNT. Once upon a
barely.
Yeah,
he barely TNT, bro. Like when you think of a TNT analyst, you don't think of Kevin Garnett first. You probably think of Charles Barkley, Ken Smith,
Bernie Sanders.
You think of like Grant Hill. You think of Grant Hill and Isaiah Thomas before you think of Kevin Garnett.
Well, I think those guys are NBA
and
TV.
those dudes, a lot of NBA TV dudes do both. So there's like some kind of contract agreement they have where they can do both.
That's pretty cool.
I'm not sure if Turner owns NBA TV, but yeah, there's like something in the contract that can because usually you see Shaq on both, Isaiah Thomas on both, Grant Hill on both, especially when they start doing like the player only stuff. Yeah, especially when we start doing that kind of stuff, you definitely see the people.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
Yeah, but I just sometimes hate to take some of these analysts take, and it is what it is. Levi, you got anything on your mind you want to talk about? You want to talk about James Harden a little bit?
Oh yeah. Now, Mark.
What do you want to say about James Harden?
James Harden is going to get the MVP this year.
He is.
You believe that?
If he continues to play like he is right now, James Harden will win MVP.
I wonder if Chris Paul comes back and his numbers go down. Would you still give him the MVP if he's not doing the same things he's doing now? That's the question.
When Chris Paul was playing this year, they were losing. James Harden, while he's been on this tear, they have one of the highest winning records in the NBA. If I'm Chris Paul and I come back, I'm just like, you handle the ball and do your thing. Do your same thing you're doing and just pass me the ball for an assist. I'm going to be a spot-up shooter. We're not sharing the ball like we used to do up the court sometimes. You do your thing, and I'm a straight-up jump shooter right now. Spot-up shooter. Because, you doing your thing is winning. When we go for our thing, we wasn't winning this year.
I mean, Chris Paul's not going for that. You know that. Chris Paul is a stubborn old man that's not going to let that happen.
He better, or else he's going to get hurt again.
He likes to have the ball in his hand. And I think James Harden is cool with that. But also, he wants that MVP. So, at the same time, I'm thinking, yeah, exactly.
He already said it.
Exactly. He said he's trying to get another MVP. And I'm waiting for him to show out in the playoffs. That's what I'm waiting for. Him to show out in the playoffs and actually do what he does in the regular season.
We know that won't happen. James Harden, he shrinks in the playoffs every year. Probably because he got no legs anymore. He probably honestly, I think his usage, he's playing the most minutes in the NBA right now.
Is.
He ain't gonna have no legs by the time the playoffs come. He's never played the most minutes in NBA ever in his career, and he always goes to the playoffs, and it seems like he has no legs under him anymore.
Yeah.
You think that's gonna change now when he's getting more minutes? No, sir. He gonna be struggling, yo. I hope he don't.
Hopefully,
but he will be.
I mean, hopefully he gets rest before the playoffs. If they're in a good position to get in the playoffs, hopefully he gets a little rest and let Chris Paul take off.
It's the West.
Yeah,
it's the West. There won't be a negative West. You know what I mean?
Especially when LeBron gets back.
Do you see that video of him working out with Bone Collector?
Who?
Bone Collector. Mixtape dude.
Yeah, I seen that. Who's it?
James Harden. Look, James Harden handled heavy though. James Harden can handle that rock. You know what I mean? He do. And he lefty, so it's even worse. But the way the teams are playing defense against him now and turning him all the way, and it's interesting. I've never seen people adjust in defense this much to where it's, I don't know, he's making people play defense in ways I've never seen before. And it's interesting to watch just to see. But also he be getting some of the weakest fouls.
Oh my
life.
goodness. The refs
You
give
know
that
what I mean?
dude everything. You can just breathe on his face. They call it foul. Calling a foul. He fart on him. Foul.
I don't think I've seen this many and one 3-pointers in my life.
Me neither, bro. It used to be like random back, like, you know, when Kobe was playing. You know, he used to get a...
Or like Jamal Crawford would get one every
exactly.
so often.
Or Luau Williams. You know, guys like that. But now everybody's getting away with it because of the foul calls. It's ridiculous.
I'm like, and James Harden, I swear James Harden get one every 2 games.
He gets to
and 1-3. One every 2 games.
He gets to the free throw line like 17 times a game, bro. That's ridiculous.
It's
Yeah.
it's really wild though.
And 3 or 4 times
it's really wild
from the 3 line.
I mean, but like, if you can do it, I guess go ahead and do it. You know what I mean? If you're gonna make your free throws, make your free throws. But like, he like the only guy that can do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like, I hope there's not like some young kid in like high school right now who like coming up like, I want to play like James Harden, because that's gonna be trash to watch. You got 5 James Harden calling the fouls, all kind of stuff, extending their arms. Like, what a bum, man. I mean, sometimes we already see it though. You know, me and you played in a rec game, not a rec game. Me and you played in like a winter league last winter, and we saw a dude who did the exact same thing as James Harden.
That was Antoine.
You played against him? I'm like, man, you really played this man.
He looked like him.
It's just like but he like, you know, he out of his prime of his athletic career. That guy. Yeah. So I really hope there's not some kid who's like fresh-eyed in high school, you know, trying to get to his prime, who gonna start playing like, who try to play like James Harden. Man, I'm like, man, you don't need to play like James Harden. You need to play like shoot, I don't know. She need to play like somebody else who not James Harden. You know what I mean? You need to play like I would say Andrew Wiggins, but I'm like, no, you cool.
Guy.
You need to play like, you know, if you're offensively, man, you need to play like, you know, Paul George.
Yeah,
that's what I like. That's what I like. Paul George having a nasty season. Kawhi Leonard.
Game like him.
You need to play offense like these dudes. Pure. Except you see that 3 he shot over James Harden in the fourth quarter. Oh, that jump shot was short.
Yeah, it was bad. I was like,
that 3, that little fadeaway 3 he tried to shoot.
Dang.
I'm like, Kawhi. Well, get to the rim on this man. But Kawhi didn't have no time on the clock though. That's really what it was.
He had to force it.
He's had to throw something up. He's had to throw something.
How about Kevin Durant's game?
But you know, I mean, I would never tell somebody to play like Kevin Durant unless they were like as athletic as him and like 7 foot. Like Kevin Durant can only play the game that Kevin Durant can play.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you can't tell a 6'5", 6'6" person to play like Kevin Durant. Because sometimes the only shots he gets, the only way he gets his shots off are because he's 7 foot.
Yeah, he's long.
You know what I mean?
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, so like if I'm like somebody, if I tell like a normal person, like he's not normal, but I'm just like a normal person, like in the context of like NBA height, so like 6'4" to like 6'8", who do you want to play like? I'm definitely saying, you know, Kawhi Leonard and Paul George for number 1 and 2. Like those are the games you want to play after. They can get to the rim, they can shoot the 3, they can shoot the mid range, and if they need to, they can get up on top of somebody and bang on them. You know what I mean?
All those.
And they can both play defense.
That's the most important key.
Exactly. And they can both handle that rock. Like, good. Paul George handled nasty. Handle. Like, Paul George handled really nasty. He real shifty.
Yeah. His setup moves are awesome, man. Like when he sets up his crossover, hits a little step back on him. I'm like, ooh, that was so smooth. Paul, why was this?
Dudes don't look like they about to fall, but he gets so much separation from them that I'm like, no, somewhere in their mind they like stumbled a little bit. You know what I mean? Like he be having the separation he gets is crazy. Like Kawhi Leonard don't really get that much separation, but his footwork's so good that like his footwork's so good and his like extension on his jump shot so high that it's like okay, he just gets it off. But Paul George really be getting like real separation by not doing like James Harden step backs, but like 2 dribbles to the right, cross between the leg, boom, boom, move, and then 1 step back, boom. Like, quick, smooth. It's wild, man. I'm like, hey. Like, Paul George's game is much smoother than it used to be.
I mean, he has to because that injury. And you got to change up your game a little bit. The motions, the way you move, and all that other stuff. Like D Rose, your favorite player. He has to change his game, obviously, and he has.
Yep, and it's doing wonders for him.
I don't know about that.
I wonder.
I don't know.
It's doing good. He averaging like 19 games.
6th man of the year. 6th man of the year.
Yes.
Oh.
I don't know how he wouldn't be. Yeah, he should be 6th man of the year.
I'll give it to Lou.
Hey. No, not again. Not again.
Gordon.
He's getting LeBron treatment for the 6th man. And Eric Gordon, he didn't start too many games this year. Hey, you watch KU games? KU games?
Yeah, some of them. I watched in the beginning of the season this year. I watched a couple games.
Not just this year. Though. I mean, like overall.
Yeah, definitely. Over the past year.
Do you know who I hate, bro? Do you know who my least favorite KU player of all time was?
Seldon. Was it Seldon?
Cliff
really?
Alexander.
Yeah, where is that guy? Where is he at, bro? Like, is he overseas? He just
This man was a 6'8" center.
bro didn't even play.
I was just watching some of his highlights. on YouTube, and this man, like in high school, he was good because he was like bigger than everybody else. But like when he got to college, this man had no jump shot. He thought he was one and done, so he came in with the one and done mindset. Because it was him and Kelly Oubre the same year. He had his own mindset. He thought he was that guy. He didn't really put up good numbers. He put up okay numbers, but they weren't great. You know what I mean? They weren't good. And then he left after 1 year. I think he like went to like the D League or like something like that for the Brooklyn Nets. But then he made like a couple games in the NBA, but now he probably overseas in Iceland somewhere getting buckets, you know what I mean? Because he not in the league. I'm like, but in Kansas, bro, I hated watching that man play. Because he was so boo-boo.
And he wasn't like keeping his grades up. Like he couldn't get the books done. I mean, I'm like, come on, bro. I mean,
he was so undersized though. Like imagine this. He is center. Going to the league, he the same size as LeBron James. The same size as Paul George. Those dudes, he the same height as those guys. But he doing left-hand hooks and right-hand hooks. And missing most of them.
Did he even have a jump shot?
No, he had zero jump shot.
You can't get in the league if you that small, bro, and you have nothing to offer on the offensive side. Why are you playing? Like, why are you trying to come to the league? There's no way you can get in the league.
Because in high school, he was just dunking on dudes, man. Because his arms was mad long.
Yeah.
His arms was dummy long. But, like, I don't know. That just kind of popped up in my head because I was watching, I was watching some, like, old KU highlights on YouTube. And he popped up, and I was like, oh, no, let me hurry up and get off this. You know what I mean? I was not a fan of Cliff Alexander at all. Like, my favorite player was Ben McLemore. My favorite KU player of all time is Ben McLemore.
Paul Pierce, man. I love some Paul Pierce.
But was you watching Paul Pierce?
I watched his highlights in college, yeah.
I mean, like, who was your favorite that you watched?
Man, that's a tough one, man. Yeah, it's a tough one.
Is it?
You said Bill McLemore.
Ben McLemore for sure. If Trey Burke didn't hit that shot from dummy deep in Michigan, we win a national championship that year. Ben McLemore, Jeff Worthy, like Worthy? No, Withy for sure.
Whitley.
It was Withy, right?
I think it's Whitley. Yeah.
Yeah, tall white dude. Played for the Utah Jazz for a little bit. Like like that year, we would have won a national championship, but Trey Burke wanted to go out of his mind, and that Michigan team was good. I guess that Louisville team that ended up playing. But Ben McLemore, jump shot, pure.
Yeah, he did have it all.
Banging on dudes, had bounce. Ben McLemore has the best hoop mixtape of all time.
You think so?
I do think so. I think that soundtrack, Hoop Mixtape, used to have the best soundtracks in the background, dog. The best instrumentals, the samplers. Ooh. But like okay. Let me change that. Ben McLemore has my favorite hoop mixtape. But there were some hoop mixtapes. Before Ball is Life came on the scene, like really came on the scene, hoop mixtape was doing their thing. Derrick Rose has a good hoop mixtape. Who really put hoop mixtape on was Brandon Jennings. Brandon Jennings had a nice hoop mixtape. This dude named Deuce Bello, I don't know if you remember him. Came out of North Carolina, played at Baylor, then he transferred, he got into playing time. Okay. But in high school, dummy long arms like Kif Alexander and was banging on dudes. He came out like 2011, maybe 2011 from high school. Quincy Miller had a nice hoop mixtape. There's a couple dudes who had a nice hoop mixtape, but my favorite personally was Ben McLemore. But you know, hoop mixtape was rocking from like 2008 to like 2012, maybe 12, 13. You know what I mean? But then Ball is Life came by and knocked him out the water, and I'm not sure if hoop mixtape is doing anything anymore. You know what I mean? If you follow me on Instagram, they put up like old pictures and old videos of like 08, 09. You know what I mean? They put up like guys like that. Ball is Life put up stuff in 2019 right now.
Crazy.
You know what I mean? Because Ball is Life is nice though, man. A little nice highlight tape. I mean, I wish I had one, man. I'm not gonna lie to you.
We can make you one. You can call them up, ask them.
Come on, man. Come on, man. Make me hey, man, you want to come to the Lawrence Rec real quick and make me a Baller's Life tape?
I mean,
like, come on, man. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy. I mean, but like, honestly, if I ever have a kid, man, I got one goal in mind. We getting on Baller's Life. We getting on Hoop Mixtape. No. We not getting on Baller's Life. We get on Hoop Mixtape and we bringing them back up.
Sir.
We reviving Hoop Mixtape. That's my dream from my child. The revival of Hoop Mixtape.
Be the face of it.
Greatest. The face of Hoop Mixtape 2037, whatever it is.
Man, you looking too far down the line.
Heck yeah, bro.
2037.
FTK. FTK. You know what that stands for?
What?
For the kids.
For the kid. It's for the kid.
You do what you do for the kids, dog. Yeah. Like right now, we doing this podcast. Why? FTK.
FTK for the kid. For the kids.
Levi, you doing your job for what?
My kids, my family.
Exactly. FTK for the kids. Everything you do is for the kids. Right now, I'm in grad school at KU. Why? For the kids. We gonna be living large. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Everything you do past the age of 21. That's not like, you know, your own personal fun time, but like your life goals, your life ambitions, like your job, your occupation. Like it's for you, but in the long run, FTK for the kids.
Hey, I like that.
Hey, FTK. That's dope, isn't it?
I like that.
Yep, man.
2037, we're gonna be
FTK,
old.
Man. So so FTK, Ball is Life, you know, or FTK Hoop Mixtape. You feel me, dog? Is there anything else you want to talk about, Levi? Anything else at all?
Boogie Cousins coming back. Do you think he can fit in this offense? Did you see him play? You see him play?
I did see I saw the first 2 games. I do think that most anybody could fit into this offense.
I think anybody can fit in that offense. Like, they were giving him the ball, they were feeding him when he was getting open, when he was getting good position. I'm like, this guy, he's gonna be dangerous in the playoffs.
Yeah, and you can't double off of him because you got KD, you got Clay, you got Steph. You really.
And he can pass the ball. Like, that's the crazy thing, bro. Like, he can pass the ball, so he's gonna always find an open man, bro. So that's scary.
Hey, this playoff is not gonna be fun.
Yeah, maybe in the East Coast, because there's a couple teams. There's 76ers, the Bucks, Who else? Who else is in the East? Celtics. The
Celtics.
And the Brooklyn Nets. If they're still doing, they could be dangerous in the playoffs if they make it.
The Raptors.
Yeah, the Raptors. Yeah, throw them names.
Okay. So let me get more specific. The NBA playoffs won't be fun for any team facing the Golden State Warriors. But it will be fun, seeing other teams in the West play each other. It'll be fun for the East for sure. But the NBA Finals won't be fun unless the Raptors play. I think the Raptors have a legitimate chance to beat Golden State. I think the Bucks don't really have a chance, no. I think the Celtics, I don't know. I got to see how the Celtics are looking at the end of the year to see if they have a chance or not. Because they've been inconsistent, you know what I mean? But by the end of the year, I got to see how they're looking. And who else?
Yeah,
The 76ers. I got to also see how the 76ers are looking at the end of the year to see, to feel how I'll feel against them going against the Golden State Warriors. But I don't think the Bucks are going to make it to the finals. I think the Bucks have a chance to make the Eastern Conference Finals, though.
Yeah, I believe that too.
The Bucks are that good. But yeah, I don't know. Any pace, look, Golden State playing against anybody and then going against certain people in the Eastern Conference or in the finals overall, it has a chance of being a very, very boring year of NBA playoff basketball when it comes to anybody playing the Golden State Warriors. So if I'm being specific, that's really what I meant. Not like the whole overall playoff, in general is going to be, boring. Yeah. So you were right. My fault. I had to be more specific.
That. Like whoever plays the Warriors in the playoffs, 4-0, baby, sweep. It's over. Especially that 8
Yeah,
seed.
But
depending who it is going to be. Maybe the Lakers. Maybe the Lakers going to be in that.
Maybe, but it depends on when all these injuries start, not being what they are. Nah, me.
I heard.
But
I said I heard you.
I heard you. Hey, but yeah, man, this is just I don't know. Golden State, they're just not fair. I can't wait till this offseason to see if people take pay cuts or they leave. That's really what I can't wait for. I need Klay to leave. If Klay leaves, the whole thing implodes.
Yeah, I wouldn't say implode, but a little bit. It
implodes. You can't replace Klay. Like, you can't replace KD or Steph either. But, like, what Klay brings to that offense is, different. Because Klay doesn't need the ball in his hand. Like, he takes, one dribble at most. Or, no dribbles. You know what I mean? Like, Klay does not need the ball in his hand to be effective on offense. And he plays the best defense on the team.
Yeah.
Outside of Draymond Green. You know what I mean? But guard-wise, he plays the best defense on the team.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if you take him off, the whole thing implodes for sure. So I'm wondering how much money people are going to put up for him, or if he's going to take a pay cut and stay with Golden State. I hope he does not take a pay cut, but Klay Thompson seems like the kind of guy who's going to take a pay cut.
He does, bro. He loves Golden State, and his dad is a huge fan of the Lakers, and I'm hoping that he convinces his son Klay Thompson come right to the Lakers. Because that
would be nice.
Exactly, Showtime, baby. LeBron James, Klay Thompson, whoever the hell they have enough room to get 3 max players. Klay Thompson can be one of them. LeBron James, of course, and then whoever else wants to come to LA. Maybe Kyrie again. Kyrie, no.
I don't think they need that. I think they need Lonzo Ball.
You think they need Lonzo Ball? They're going to trade Lonzo Ball. I'm sorry.
Yes.
They're trading that guy.
No. Lonzo Ball, man. Ball movement. Strong IQ. LeBron James loves playing with Lonzo Ball because Lonzo Ball has a crazy high IQ. And Lonzo Ball, his court vision is, ridiculous. So for a guy like Klay Thompson, you want a guy who can give him the ball where he wants the ball.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Kyrie, he's more score-centric. You know what I mean? He's score, then pass the ball. With Lonzo Ball, LeBron James doesn't have to be running the point and be the main facilitator of the ball. He can just start scoring more, hopefully. And then like Klay Thompson, he can just be getting the ball where he wants to get the ball because Lonzo Ball is unselfish enough to do that for that to be the case. And then you could have, Kuzma in there, hitting the mid ranges and hitting like the turnaround hooks and the running the hooks and all kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Like that'd be a really balanced team. I think if Kyrie comes, it becomes less balanced. Like it's still like fairly balanced because they all still do different things, but I think it becomes less balanced for sure.
Yeah, I could see that, but I can't.
And also, I think they're just playing people. I think the whole Kyrie could go to the Lakers. I think that's just a ploy.
I mean,
Kyrie does not want to go. Kyrie does not want to be that guy who left LeBron James to go back to LeBron James to win again. He wants to win by himself. Is that with the Celtics? I don't know.
Yeah.
Is that with the Knicks? Maybe.
With KD going down there.
It could be with the Knicks. Yeah. Now, what if Klay Thompson leaves and KD leaves?
And they team up?
What? No, they leave. KD goes to the Knicks. Klay Thompson goes to the Lakers. Like, this is a ridiculous hypothetical that won't happen. But what if that happened, though? And it's just Steph by himself. Steph and Draymond.
They'll still be a solid team, but they won't be they'll be vulnerable, definitely. They'll probably be like a 6th seed or 4th seed.
Steph's winning no more chips. Steph's winning no more chips.
Yeah, he's definitely not, bro. He needs those guys, but he makes it run. That's the thing about Stephen Curry. He makes the train run, bro. He starts it up and gets it going, bro.
He does make this look. He is the conductor of the train.
Yeah.
Right? He in the front. Toot toot. That is Steph Curry. But we ain't got no boxcars behind you. It's just you by yourself. You're not much of a train, are you? So you going toot toot by yourself. Chugga 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 chugga. That's all it means, man. He ain't much of a train. Just you. He ain't no more chips. But that won't happen because too many hypotheticals. So if KD leaves, let's say if KD left, Klay staying.
They still.
If KD left, if Klay left, KD staying. If they both left, Boogie staying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's a good scenario.
That inside-out presence could be deadly. But, so, like, no matter what, Steph is in a position to where, like, he's going to win no matter what. Steph going to win no matter what. He going to be feeling good at the end of the day no matter what himself.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? No matter what no one else does on that team.
Exactly. He's like, I'm still going to get mine. MVPs. He's still going to get his MVPs. He's still going to go down as the greatest shooter of all time. And he has a great coach in Steve Kerr. Some people don't like Steve Kerr because, he took some of the last coach's Mark Jackson. Defensive schemes and offensive schemes. But, hey, it works. It works.
Most people don't like Steve Kerr because they say anybody could go in to that team and coach and do well and win. Yeah. You saw that with Luke Walton went in. He won a lot when he was getting the surgeries. Mike Brown, former coach of the Cleveland Cavaliers, went in and won a lot of games. So what? So everybody's like, okay, so Steve Kerr went in there. Okay, he won a lot of games too. But what I do hear is that Steve Kerr is like the alpha dog. Like Steve Kerr will get into a superstar's face and cuss them out, like a Greg Popovich, and he has a respect of players to be able to do things like that.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So I do hear he's like that. But when it comes to X's and O's, no one really knows how he is because he hasn't really had to prove it because he has Steph Curry and then he had that 72-win team, and then the year after that when they would have had to prove it, they got KD.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like, he hasn't really had the opportunity to go out there and be like, I'm a really good coach, X's and O's and personnel, and this is what I do. You know what I mean? Brad Stevens, to me, is a bit overrated. So, and he's definitely an X's and O's kind of guy. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
But to me, he's overrated.
He's struggling this year, but I feel like he can turn it around for the Celtics. Try to initiate Gordon Hayward and, trying to keep him in the lineup, putting him on the bench, trying to get him in rhythm. Because that's his guy, from Butler. As you see, they almost won the championship in Butler. Or did they win that championship? I don't think they did. Yeah.
No, they lost to
my
Duke.
team, baby. Woo. Woo. Yeah, I remember that game.
Because he shot the half court. He shot the buzzer beater at half court and it hit the rim. Remember that? No, you don't remember that. I asked you a whole question. You just looked at me.
Crazy stuff, man.
But here's the thing, though. In the NBA, I think
I could, bro. You sound like a robot.
I don't know what you're talking about anymore, but whatever. Look, in the NBA, I think that being a coach, being able to control personnel is just as important as X's and O's. And I'm not sure how Brad Stevens is when it comes to being the alpha dog, the guy who can take control over athletes who are getting paid millions. You know what I mean? Personnel control. I'm not too sure how he is when it comes to that aspect. X's and O's, okay, we get. But how are you when it comes to player dynamics? How are you when it comes to personalities? Because that's the thing that Steve Kerr tends to, have under control.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. That's the thing. But also you can make an argument that Mark Jackson got that in place before Steve Kerr even got there.
True.
But to maintain it at least, and get guys like Boogie, who was like, he's only played a couple games, but he's known for not having, the greatest of like relationships with different individual players. And you got guys like Kevin Durant coming in, all kind of stuff. Like, he's had to maintain that at least, you know what I mean? And they give him credit for that. But Brad Stevens, this is the first year he's had all these players come in and actually play and not get hurt, who are contributing, who can contribute big things to the team. You know what I mean? Who have big egos. Gordon Hayward, he wouldn't be in the position he's in right now without a big ego. We all know Kyrie got a big ego because he left LeBron. You know what I mean? And now the young guys got an ego because they made it as far as they did last year without the other two guys. You know what I mean? Young guys being Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. So how is he when controlling these egos, controlling these personalities? And right now, it doesn't look too great because of the position the Celtics have looked like they've been in the entire season so far.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They have Kyrie, saying stuff to the media and saying he apologized to LeBron. So they're looking at him like, we don't need you. You know what I mean? We don't need you. We almost got to the championship last year.
Yeah.
We almost beat LeBron last year. We don't need you. So, when you have Kyrie Irving saying stuff like that, and the young guys were doing good without him, and, you know what I'm saying, it could be a possibility that Kyrie Irving, gets, goes to the free agency next year, or he might, just stay until he gets traded. I don't know. I don't know how that would work.
Hey, we all know Danny Ainge is not the kind of GM that just like will let you, the player, run him.
Oh yeah,
he will run you. He will run that ship. You know what I mean? He will get you out of town that quick.
Quick as you can say, Jimmy.
Quick. He will get you out of town crazy fast. He has a reputation for doing that. You know what I mean? Like, loyalty is not Isaiah Thomas. Loyalty is not a thing to him. He's like, we are trying to win, and we're trying to do the best things possible to win. Yeah. You know what I mean? So if he wants Kyrie out, Kyrie's gonna go. And if Kyrie is talking like this, and he killed LeBron and all that kind of stuff, then the Ainge might just be like, "No, we gotta get you out of here because you're gonna be a distraction. You're a distraction for our young guys in this team." Because really, the core guy for that team needs to be Jason Tatum.
The core guy. Oh, okay.
The guy.
Okay, gotcha.
The man.
Yeah. Jason
Tatum. He needs to be that man for the Boston Celtics for years to come. You know what I mean? And if you get him to be that guy, you'll go far for years. But right now, I think they're in a position that, like, who is that guy?
It's Kyrie.
Is it Jason Tatum?
It's Kyrie, man. It's Kyrie. Of course, that's the guy of the team.
But here's the thing, though. Kyrie thinks it's Kyrie. But, like, I get the feeling that the whole team doesn't either think it's Kyrie or they don't want it to be Kyrie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I just get that vibe from the team. Like, I think if Jason Tatum was the guy, that everybody be okay with that. But Kyrie, he's not just, because like Jason Tatum, he plays, but he doesn't like, you don't hear that much from him. You know what I mean? He plays, but he don't necessarily talk. Kyrie playing, he talking to the media, and he trying to be a personality and all kind of stuff. Relax.
He said, relax.
Play the game, dog. And they're all doing, and I think some teammates might think he's doing a little too much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that would not be surprising to me whatsoever.
If that was the case, yeah. Maybe. I mean, he has to speak to the media, but he doesn't have to say all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I just called LeBron last night. We made up and all that type of stuff. Just trying to put out stories out there, man. Like, come on, Kyrie. You're a distraction.
Yeah, man. You trying to win games. You trying to win games. They ain't about to. What are you doing, man? Talking about free agency when you come at free agent. Right now, you at one of the best talented teams in the East. Y'all could go head to head with Golden State, but you over here trying to put out distractions. You a clown for that, but whatever it is. So, all right, I got anything else to talk about?
I think that's it. Let me check my handy dandy notebook.
I think that's it. I think that's it also, man. All right, handy dandy notebook. All right, man. You got anything you want to like put out there, social media wise, all that kind of stuff?
Hit your boy up on YouTube. I mean, yeah, YouTube too. Fourth Quarter Legends, Instagram, _legends, and then also on Twitter, Fourth Quarter Legends. Hit me up, and we're coming out with some content next week. Looking forward to that. How about you, Phil, man?
All right, all the baddies slide into my DMs on Twitter. It's 65 Wizard of Mo, and on Instagram it is 65 Phil Bill. Just slide in, tell me what's up. And if you're good looking, I'll say what's up back. You know what I mean? If you're not, then I'm going to leave you on red. And then, I got PG Anecdotes, my other podcast. We talk about pop culture, politics, things of that nature. PG Anecdotes on everything. YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. You can find the podcast on SoundCloud and or iTunes, depending on if you have an Android, the whole dealio. And with that being the case, hey, this is Traveling Hoopers, we out.
Thank you. Peace out.